Hey, Armin here. It's been a while I made my last video, but as I have exceeded 500 days in my 100 days challenge, which is of course not anymore 100 days challenge, it's more like already 1000 days challenge or something. So I feel it's good time to give some feedback. And also soon there will be 3 years from the time when I started to work on this journey. So again, good time to share some feedback. And I will talk about what I feel has changed during this period, and also what is my current meditation routine in this challenge. So enjoy. The biggest change what I feel is I don't give a fuck anymore so much about things which are happening in life. It's not that I don't care about things, but it's more of bad things won't affect me anymore so much. If some shit is happening in my life, I I'm not caring so much about it, and I'm not letting this to bring my mood down. And there are very good examples. I will share one example for you where I see the biggest, or where it is very clearly to see the change. And this was also the fastest change which I saw when I started this journey, because previously when I drive my car in the city and when I was in a hurry and somebody was on my way, I get mad very easily. What you are doing there? But you're stopping on the road. Just drive, because I'm in a hurry, and so I get really frustrated very fast if I was in a hurry somewhere. But when I started to meditate, I noticed that there's nothing actually what I can do to change that specific situation. So better I relax and let it go as it goes, because it's out of my control. And the experience, this example what I actually wanted to share with you is more recent. I'm still living out of town, city, and I have to use my bicycle to catch the train. I have 3 kilometers. Sometimes I walk, but usually I use my bicycle to go. And as it's already winter outside, the circumstances to ride on the road are not very good. And there are many days where wind is against me. And one day there was heavy snow also coming down, and the wind blew the snow straight to my face and to my eyes, and it hurt so much. So I almost cried all the road to home. I couldn't even look forward. I just had to ride like this, look to the side of the road, so I'm not driving off the road. So I couldn't look forward. So all I saw was 2 meters in front of me or something. Previously, if this would happen to me, I would go, why the hell is happening to me? Why now? Have I done? Why the life is so cruel? Why this wind is blowing? Why? So all excuses and all, everything is like, why this happening to me? Like I'm the only one who's experiencing that. But during now, I just I'm just riding my bicycle, looking down and not thinking much about why, because there's nothing I can do about it. It's out of my control. Better I just do the best I can, and until I arrive home. So why let myself go down because of those situations? This is the biggest jump I have seen during my journey in this, during my spiritual journey. So this is like previously, everything that happened around me immediately affect my mood, and I was, why is happening me? Why? What? So now it's like, who cares? If it's happening, I do my best to get out of it. But if it's out of my control, I don't bother it. I don't bother with it anymore. So this is the biggest change what I have seen. So that's what I mean. I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't give a fuck much about what is going on. But in other way, I during the it has started to happen just recently. I feel much more compassion and love towards everything what is surrounding. So this is the other way. It's not if I say I don't give a fuck, it's like I don't care about people or something. Actually, I care more what is going on, so I can do some things to them. If I can relieve some people's pain or something, I'm more compassionate, and I feel more love towards everybody and everything what is surrounding me. And it has actually one good reason, but I will talk about it a little bit later. And for me, not giving a fuck, not caring what is happening, is also I'm not caring so much what people think of me, and that's why I have become much more open and much more authentic in my behavior in my talks. But I started to share some interesting stuff in Facebook, which is a little bit controversial for many people. But I don't care if they say you're like crazy or something, because this is how I see the world, how I feel, and this is how I express myself. But there are this part of self development is still in development, because there are so many cases that I still feel I'm wearing a mask to act a certain way, which serves my self agenda of or my ego the most. So there are many cases where I try to act as authentic as I can, but there are still things which stop me from doing that. My ego is on the way, and I cannot act as maybe I should, not should, but maybe as I want, because I know it can hurt some people. It can maybe ruin my life some way or something, because I might lose some people. I might change my life, but if I'm authentic and people who don't like it, they leave. But people who like the real me, like, or who I'm really am when I'm expressing myself truly and honestly, those people will love the true me, not the fake me which I'm acting. And actually, I'm planning to make a little post on my blog about this topic. So I will talk about it a little bit more, how I'm exactly what I'm doing, and so on. So I feel there's so much more to grow, for me to grow in this area of personal development, to be more authentic and more real, and not use fake masks and be somebody, act some way, and talk some way which is actually not my inner thoughts. So, but I see already improvement there. So it has helped me a lot, this challenge. I have still problems during my meditation concentrating on certain things, especially concentration technique, where you concentrate focus on certain part of your body. I'm concentrating on my lips, but I exactly feel it's very hard to stay focused on that specific feeling. So I'm getting lost very much. But in my regular life, I feel I can get more out of things because I'm more open and more clear-minded because of this meditation. And especially I see it during my trainings. When I roll, I see like opportunities opening up during my roll. When I roll, I see many opportunities opening up. So I think this is because of meditation. So my mind is more open, and I'm more clear-minded because of it. And it also this can also be because I have changed my diet a lot. I'm not eating meat almost at all. Sometimes a little bit fish. And I'm planning to go try a vegan diet soon also. So we'll see how it goes. And also what this journey or this challenge has done is my average mood. Of course, there are ups and downs, but like Aaron Duffy is always saying in his videos, is when the previous like it was low, high, now it is like low, high. So current lows are almost as high as previous highs. So I feel much more. I enjoy everything much more. I don't have to do certain certain things to feel good. I just go on walk. I watch just people. Sometimes if I'm on train, I just watch people, and I'm enjoying seeing the life happening around me. It's like I cannot explain it, but I don't know. I don't have to do specific things which makes me feel good. I just feel good most of the time anyway. And when I do some things, I feel even better. So I feel this has also changed. Now I want to talk about my current routine, but before I go there, actually, 1 month ago, very interesting things started to happen. Is Naked Reality, this YouTube channel, which I have been following for more than a year, but which was taken down, I think now, just 2 days ago, because of some reasons, which I will not share in this video. If you want to know, you can come to me and ask, because they are very interesting reasons. But this guy, Riley, he made a Discord group, is like chat group where you can voice chat with each other, and lots of interesting things have started to happen there. I joined it just a little bit more, I think 35 days or something ago. So at the beginning of this year, I joined it. But before I talk about this group, let me a little bit enlighten you about the things that I want to share. There is one guy called David Hawkins. You can find it if you Google, and he has a map of consciousness where you start from like 0, or actually the lowest is 20 is shame, then comes 30, which is guilt, and it goes up to 1000, which is pure enlightenment. And for example, I used the chart because I'm not remembering from my head. I used the chart. So let's say, like I said, 20, 30 is shame, guilt. In 100 you get fear, 125 is desire, and from 2000 and up it goes to positive, because before it is like actually the life there is no negative and positive, but we call them negative things. So like grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, those are from below 200, and above 200 is like neutrality, willingness, acceptance. Acceptance is 350, and then comes reason, love, joy, and peace. And peace comes from 600. Love is 500, and so on. So people who start to this spiritual journey, if they show interest in this thing, they are somewhere over 400, 500 beginning, somewhere there, and after 600, in 600, beginning of 600, usually people have their first awakening experience when their consciousness becomes one with the universal consciousness. They see the universe and reality like it is. I'm not going to talk about this topic a lot here, but our reality is, it's not like consciousness is in reality, but it's opposite. The reality or our universe comes from consciousness. Consciousness is the base of everything, where things arise. And awakening is when you become you not become one, but you realize this oneness, that this all consciousness is one, and everything is like together. So this is awakening, which usually starts when people hit 600 or something. And most of today's teachers are 700, 800 or something, high-level teachers. For example, Edgar Tolle is somewhere 700, 800. And it's there is a way how to measure it, this level of consciousness. And David Hawkins explains it in his book, Power Over versus Force, or was it Force Over... Was Power versus Force, I believe it was this way. And you can Google it also, you can find. So they can, people with certain abilities can actually measure those level of consciousness. But why I talk about it is because in that group, like I said, most of the teachers are 700, 800, and so you experience the non-duality in 600s, and then you go on. But most of them will stay there 700, 800, and they are happy with their life and so on. But actually you can go up to 1000 and even beyond 1000. And in that group, because some guys have found the technique how to get people faster to higher level consciousness. It's like they call it rasa, which is transmissions. They open your crown chakra so you can more easily get connected to the unified consciousness. So in that group, people have hit 1000 just in few months, which usually even 600 takes usually many years, and to get 800 takes 5-10 years, and so on. And not many people can get to 1000, but with that technique, people are hitting 1000 very, very fast. And I had my log, it's called log level of consciousness. I have my log reading 3-4 weeks ago, and it was 790 something. So I have already gone up from this enlightenment awakening stage and so on. And currently I believe I already am over 800 for sure, because 3 weeks ago it was almost 800 already. But when I asked, because I haven't had my experience yet, the non-duality, And I asked why is it so, and how we can go beyond 600 if we haven't experienced non-duality yet. It is because mm, usually you build up your mind, your body, and then the consciousness will follow, or you go from like inside out. But now it's they will hit your consciousness level up, and then the rest will catch up later. So it can take few months, few years for the rest to catch up to that level. But the consciousness is already up there, so it's much easier to catch up, and it takes much less time to catch up there. So this group is a very good experience. And what I have noticed, like I already said, what changes I feel I have had during this challenge and during my journey. I said I feel much more love and compassion towards everything, and it started mostly after I joined that group and I started to get those transmissions. So that's when the heart starts to open up, and I started to feel more compassion toward everything, and more love toward everything. So I see big change there, and I know the more I stay there, the more I do those things, more my heart will open up, and this level 1000 will I will get there very, very soon. So it's very, very interesting times. And if you want to join that group, just hit me up, and I will send you invite a link to that group, so you can also try it out and see what you will experience. And now to my current routine. I'm meditating daily 30 to 16 minutes, depending on the day. When I have many things to do, I do 30 to 35 minutes. And when I have long day, where I don't have many things to do, I will do 60 minutes and even more. And my routine is I start with the concentration technique, where like I already mentioned, I concentrate on my lips for a couple of minutes. It's one of the hardest things. Then I do breathing techniques and also concentrate on my breathing. So I become aware of my breathing, what I exactly feel, to become present in that moment. And after breathing, I do some gratitude. I feel gratitude towards everything what I have in my life. So I feel more positive towards everything I already have, because usually our mind or ego always wants something which is out there somewhere. But actually, especially in our countries where we live, we have almost all the things which we need to have a very happy life. But we always want to have more. If you look at other countries where the life isn't so easy, if you would live there, or those guys would give everything to be instead of you, and they would be very, very happy. So during my everyday morning meditation session, I also feel gratitude towards everything what I already have in my life. Then I do very interesting technique, actually, which is quite old technique. I have done it before, a long time ago, and the technique is called no thoughts. But it is not like this, okay, I'm not thinking anymore. Then I sit down and I'm not thinking. This is not easy, because if you say something and I'm not doing that, or I'm not thinking about that, then especially you are thinking about that. And the key lies in what one of members in Journey to Freedom Facebook group said is you say, what is my next thought now? And then you become aware, what is the next thought? And this, I have realized, is a very interesting thing, because very interesting things have started to happen, and I will share some experience what I'm having during this when I'm doing this technique. Usually I'm doing this 2 minutes, then I do regular mindfulness meditation for 3 minutes, and then again 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So it's like a little cycle. And during my mindfulness, I do like 3 parts. Is what I hear, what I feel, and what I see. So I concentrate on what I see for 10 seconds or something, then what I hear on 10 seconds something, and what I feel for 10 seconds. And this cycle continues until 3 minutes goes up, and then I go back to no thoughts, and I make these 3 cycles in a row. But back to no thoughts. What I have realized is you have like surface of awareness, and the thoughts are always bubbling under the surface, like brrr. And when thoughts are starting to come up like to the surface, when you are aware, like what is my next thought, it's very interesting to notice them to come up, and immediately if the bubble comes to the surface, you see almost all the thought which will come. But as soon as you start to like read it, what is written on the thought, it's so hard to explain what I'm experiencing, but I try to explain as good as I can. But so if you start to read that thought, then it goes away. So for example, let's say thought rises up, oh, I should send this email to that guy. You see that message when the thought rises up to the surface, and then you start to read, oh, I should, and then the bubble breaks and goes back down. Then another bubble comes up with another thought, full thought. You like realize the full thought, but when you start to like concentrate or read that thought, then the bubble breaks and goes back down. So in that stage, you see the bubbling, and when some thoughts rise up, you concentrate on that thought, and then that thought will break, and it's gone again. And then you are again like pure silence, but you see something is always bubbling there. And it's very interesting experience. And there are like different kinds of thoughts or level of thoughts, so should I say. One which are like you immediately recognize them as thoughts. Some picture or memory rise up, boom, you see that bubble, and then you break it. But some thoughts are very subtle, very small. They bubble somewhere between that surface. You see something there, but you're not recognize what it exactly is. And when it comes to the surface, let me explain like this. When you count the numbers, let's say like 1, 2, 3. First, when you start, you are all fully concentrated on that number. But when you continue with counting, some other thoughts will rise up, and they will continue. You will follow them. You will go with those thoughts, but at the same time, you are still counting. So you have like 2 separate things at the same time. You are counting numbers and you are thinking of something. So the other thoughts which are coming up, they are very sneaky like. And usually they are maybe like it's this, you count numbers and then you start to think about counting the numbers. So this is actually you are thinking about the counting, but this is already other thought when the counting is. I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying, but those are the very sneaky thoughts, because it's very hard to notice them rising up, because they are part of this what you're already doing. So with a no thought thing is already like this. So what is my next thought? Maybe this is my next thought. Maybe this is already thinking, but you don't realize it. So it's so small. The bubbling is so small that you don't recognize it, and then you get carried away with it to somewhere, to Wonderland somewhere. So those thoughts are, which usually You don't notice them come to the surface because they start very slow, very slow, very slow, and then you get carried away with those thoughts. So this is what is happening with me also during that no thoughts technique. When this big thought rises up, I immediately notice it, boom, break the bubble, everything is okay. But then I start to think about breaking maybe the bubble, about maybe the thought which already was. So it's like attached to previous thing, and I don't notice it rising up slowly. And then I get carried away for, let's say, 30 minutes, 30 seconds or so. Then I realize, oh, I'm thinking of something. Okay, I should go back. So it's very interesting thing to see thoughts like boiling and coming to the surface, and when you concentrate, you see those things. I hope I could explain it so you can understand what I feel, but we all experience things differently. So I cannot say how you are experiencing those things if you start to do those. But I would be very glad if you could share, if you're doing this challenge also, if you try this technique and see what is going on, and you share your experience. So this is my routine. And after I have finished everything, those cycles, usually it's already 30 to 35 minutes. And if I do more, then I just sit, concentrate a little bit to this mindfulness. And also I mix breathing with this no thought. So I concentrate on my breathing, but at the same time, I try to realize thoughts coming up. So that's what I do during my morning meditations, and sometimes I do some daily meditations, especially because of that group, because we have group meditations with that Discord group, Make It Reality. So some days I do even free meditations sessions. So that's it for my feedback for after 500 days. And if you watch me first time, you want to get started, you don't have to do 30 minutes immediately. You can start 5 minutes maybe only, and then build up 10 minutes, 15 minutes, so on. I started, I believe, also 10 minutes first, or even 5 minutes I did a couple of days, because you want to build up the routine to go forward. And when you build a routine, then you can build up the time also. And I have said many times this: the biggest impact you can have in your life, or biggest change you can have in your life, which has biggest impact, is to take 10 minutes of your day and sit with your thoughts, meditate. This will have the biggest impact of your life, and I think it's not the hardest investment of your time. That's just 10 minutes of your day. Every day you maybe wake up earlier, or you just skip some other things which maybe just interrupt your daily routine. You just change them to sitting 10 minutes, and I promise you will have the best impact to your life if you if you do it regularly. If you do just a couple of times a week, it won't work. You just have to be consistent, and then you will see the change. At least I have seen the change in me and in people who have started it. You can read, you can find much information in internet, and also the science is already catching up to see that meditation is changing your brain structure and everything. So meditation is very good thing to put in your daily routine. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope I can start to make a little bit often those videos, because I love to share actually my experiences, like it was during the first 100 days, where every day I made one short video, and I can help people to grow also. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in my next videos. And I hope to see you in that Facebook group also to start your challenge if you haven't done it yet. So take care and bye bye.